What's up, YouTube? It's Joe Catchpolia sitting on the couch making some money investing in fractional real estate online. As usual, today I'm just going to share with you a little success story, and it is a little one. I didn't have a ton of money in this deal. Again, one of my earlier purchases of tokens to sell the property in the real world. Um, this is what I'm always talking about when I'm talking about the flipping token strategy, right? For those of you who don't know, I'm on Lofty. This is a site where you can buy small pieces of investment properties. And you get a fraction of the rental income and a fraction of the sale price if it sells in real life, or you can sell your tokens back, at a later date at whatever the current token price is. But so one of my main strategies on this site has been to buy properties where the token price is really disconnected from the real world price. And so um, this is a property, when I bought into it, it was already listed for sale. You can see, I only bought 25 tokens in this total. It is, I started buying it when it was just a super discount, 23.33 per token. Um, the property was already listed for sale. They had voted a couple months earlier. They had put it on the market. It was clear that from my due diligence that it was priced relatively well. They were getting showings. It was not a great time of year to sell, but it was getting showings, and they were getting relatively good feedback. Um, so when I started buying, it seemed like there was, we were pretty closely priced, and the price was really far off from what we eventually sold it from. So I bought 10 tokens that first day. um, you know, because it's a really thin market, that moved the price up, and I really wasn't sure, you know, this was still, 3.5 or 3 months ago, less than 3 months ago, but um, still really just experimenting with Lofty as I am now. I mean, I'm putting more and more money into these types of deals now, and I think that there's the potential. They always are going to be pretty small because yeah, as you buy tokens, it moves the price a lot, and so you either have to be in earlier, which I certainly could have been in this one earlier if it had been on my radar, or be willing to take thinner margins because as you move the price up, you'll make less profit. But I think either way, I certainly on this one could have made larger overall profits. I'm just not very. It took me a while to be comfortable with what the sales proceeds are going to be, and I still am working on that a little bit. But I've got a couple more of these in the works, and I think that I'm being a little bit more aggressive now. But so let me just show you. This is my string of purchases. I bought 10 tokens on December 16th. I bought another 10 tokens on December 29th. Um, they cost me quite a bit more at that point, but I had done a little bit more work. Oh, I think actually this is when we knew it was under contract, or at least, well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Why? And that's the thing, right? You have to follow along. And on 12/29, did we already know it was under contract, or we had at least gotten offers? So let's see. Yeah, we'd already received an offer, right? We received this offer 12/28, so I went and bought some more, right? It made me know we were close on price. It wasn't guaranteed yet, but this was more. Honestly, if I get into this situation again, I will back up the truck, right? I'll be buying. Well, actually, this one wasn't super profitable. If you look at what I paid per token and what we netted. Um, so I guess that was a little speculative, right? I mean, we end up having expenses and not, so it ends up being not perfect. But I knew we got an offer. It was at a price below, but yeah, I guess that was a little aggressive pricing, right? I shouldn't have bought more for sure. Um, but then it took a little while, got under contract. Um, it wasn't until it was under contract for a while that the price dipped again that I noticed. And one of the things that's sad is they take your price chart off once it's not once it's put on the market for sale in real life or whatever. I just kept paying attention to it. This is why one of the things, if you're using Lofty Assist, you can see these properties that are for sale in real life that don't show up on the Lofty marketplace. That's one of the features he added that I think is really helpful. If you don't know what that is, if you look at the tools section of our Discord, which there's a link to the Discord in the description below, there's a section called Tools, and Lofty Assist is one of them. Uh, by the way, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't signed up for our Discord, please do so. And there's links to all the sites that I invest on um, in the description as well. So if you want to jump on any of these, some of them will give you free money if you use one of the links that I've got in there. You want to read the terms and conditions. As always, just because I buy some of these properties doesn't mean they're the right answer for you. So you want to do your own due diligence. So anyway, I bought. I think what happened on the 22nd is there was just a dip, so I bought some more. And then these other two were just that I had accumulated some. Um, accumulated some rent in my Lofty account, and so I just bought one token each of those days using my rent credits. I might have sold something, I don't know, but just a couple of cheap ones, not super cheap. I mean, obviously, this early price was my best one, and there was times to get into this. I could have bought a lot more earlier before it got under contract. I am doing that now on properties like, for example, if you look at Odom, we've got a whole bunch of that somewhere around $27. It looks like we might sell it as much as $40 per token. I think probably the net will be in the 30s. I don't know. Um, but that's one that I'm putting a lot more capital into. And so, what did this look like? So overall, I didn't invest a ton of money, $716 total. The sale. So we just got the notice of this sale today. You can see I put a date of 3/31. I'm just assuming I already sent my tokens to the burn wallet, which is what you do when it sells in real life. And then we're going to get $37.03 cash back for every token that we sent. I only had 25, so I should get $925. Is that right? Yeah. Um, and so total return only $200 on this trade. Not a ton of money. It didn't take a lot of time. But this is what gets me excited about this, right? So that from an ROI, just $209 out of the 17, that's a 29% ROI. But when I do my XIRR, and if you're not familiar with this, all this is doing is taking the days that you invested it and the amounts that you invested, and then your payout. That's almost a 200% annual. So it's annualizing the return, right? And normally I haven't been, I've just been sort of doing guerrilla math, multiply by four or whatever if it took me 3 months. But this time because I actually had this data up anyway because I was using it for something else. Um, I figured, hey, let me just throw it in there and do my XIRR. And so yeah, I mean this is why I think there's just an amazing potential to make money on this platform is okay, a 30% ROI is amazing, right? I mean, it's tough to make that, in a real estate deal, if I'm flipping a property, I might be able to do that, right? But it's not something that you're getting very often in real estate, and even in a lot of other investments and stuff. But being able to, you know, get that return in such a short time period, which is why it's a huge annualized return, is really, uh, I think it's difficult. I mean, obviously you can do it trading stocks or trading crypto or something, but the difference here is when I look at this property in real life, it's really easy to get an idea of what this property should be worth, right? So when I'm buying these tokens at an implied value of like, 40% discount from what this property should be worth, I can be pretty confident that I'm not going to lose money, right? And that's rule number one, right? We want to not lose money. And so that's, and then on top of that, yeah, if I'm getting that big of a discount, I mean, it seems pretty clear. Now, obviously, this purchase here, right? It's pretty thin, right? I mean, it's still $3.50 per token, so it's not nothing, but certainly things could have gone wrong that had led to a loss at that point, right? But it is, and so at $37 and three, this was $110 purchase or $110,000 sale price. If we had ended up selling it for 90 or something, okay, then I'm losing money on this purchase, right? But by that time, I was confident in enough in the price that we had. I think we had an offer that was going to be good, and especially these ones once it dipped back down. And this here, I mean, like at the $23 mark, I mean, I think it would have been extremely difficult to lose money. And so that's what uh you know that's what makes this creates just really interesting opportunities. And I think so now this is this is the second one that's gone all the way through to closing. I've got quite a few more of these now in the works that are either some that are under contract, some that are listed, some that we're just trying to get iBuyers involved in. And it is now obviously I'll take this even if it takes a year. I'll take a 30% return. Now they're not all um, going to work out this strong. If most of my purchases had been around this amount, this is a kind of a sad investment, right? Like, well, let's see. So let's see. 33.68 and 37.3. Get that there. And then, so what is that? Oh, well, it's still around 10%. Yeah. So, I mean, that's still not bad, right? I mean, it's still very close to 10% on those ones. It's not amazing. It's thinner than I want for these types of token flips, right? I want to be doing better than that. But at the same time, if I'm doing that in such a short period of time, the annualized return on that is still really great. So I don't know. That's why I've been excited about this strategy in particular. I think that for a little while I was starting to get worried that this might be something that doesn't exist on Lofty for a long time. I thought, a lot of the co-ownership properties are doing, they seem to be doing better. But honestly, now that I see some of them, I think there's going to be some opportunities like this for some of the stuff that has co-owners that are just not quite as great at running their properties. You're already seeing some fairly decent discounts on some of those, and I think over time we might see even more. I mean, it took a little while for these, what they call legacy properties, to get this low. And those are the ones that were, had no co-owner. It was really somebody just sold it onto the platform, and then Lofty's just interfacing with a manager. They think the co-ownership strategy where whoever brings it to the platform has to keep some of it, and where they're the main point of contact for the property, I think it probably is going to improve it, but I don't think it'll improve it so much that we don't still keep having these deals where um, we can buy at a huge discount from the real world value. So anyway, that's really all I want to say about this one. It's just another example of where we can get really fantastic returns buying in a market that I'd never invest in this market long term. Like this is St. Louis. It's a market with high vacancy. It's I wouldn't expect there to be much appreciation over the long term. Like this is a very tough deal to buy and be really happy with on a 10-year hold or 20-year hold. Like it's just not. It doesn't have the market fundamentals that I would look for to buy for a long term hold. But when you can just buy at such a deep discount. Um, to the current market value, right? I'm buying the token, I'm paying the price on the token, and when I multiply that by all the tokens outstanding, I'm getting a huge discount on the current market price of the home in its current condition. And that's what you really have to look for. So some of these, you see these big discounts, but it's because the property's trashed, and you're not really going to make these kind of returns. And so you have to really, really know what you're looking at as far as the property. I really like these ones where we can get into after agents have already taken a look at it and said what they'd sell it for today. That's not always guaranteed, but especially once you've had a couple of them, that's helpful. And then, of course, once you get offers or once it's under contract, the fact that we get to keep trading these after they're under contract is amazing. Um, I actually think I bought both of these after the property was already sold. Uh, and if you look at the market now, the it looks like the liquidity pool is still open, which I don't know why they don't just shut it off as soon as it sells. But if you wanted to mess with that today, there's maybe an arbitrage opportunity to buy a couple tokens. Um, I don't like dealing with the liquidity pools, and so I ran into this once before, and they were like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be doing it once the property's sold." But then they let people do it again for another couple of weeks. So I don't know, but it's not. uh, to me, the more exciting opportunity is these sort of midterm flip plays, right? Like I think that if I was doing more buying in December and maybe even September, October, November, um, is where there'd be the opportunity to really make money with these. And obviously, when you do your XIRR, it only works if you're able to reinvest that continually. Um, but I'm as soon as that money hits my account, I'm going to be, going out and buying more. And so it seems like that is the great thing about the fractional real estate is you always have that ability to reinvest on short notice. Now, for real, I'm done. So until next time, I'm gonna keep making mistakes so that you don't have to.